Hey y'all, I know it's been a minute, but your girl is back. Y'all know I can't stay away for too long now. So we're doing this cute animal print set. Somebody asked me when I went live the other day, how can they avoid putting the nails on crooked? You see what I'm doing? Put the nail tip up by the cuticle area and just slide down. A lot of times people say, oh, judge it by the knuckles, but let's be so for real. Who finna line up with somebody knuckle? Like, the knuckle is all the way up there. Who is finna go all the way up there? No, that's doing too much. So go to the cuticle area, slide down, and just line it up, because a lot of people do have crooked fingers. It's very normal. I have crooked fingers, so I just showed you how you can kind of avoid that. And if you just so happen to put one on crooked, cut the tip as short as you can and just add another tip on top of it and just try to correct it. So we're doing a tapered square shape. I'm going ahead and using my Rissa Diddum tips, and I'm just about to use my straight edge clippers to cut the bottom. Now, I'm only cutting straight up and down. I'm not angling my clippers in to purposely make like a coffin shape. I'm only going to clip going straight up and down, and I'm just going to stay towards the bottom, because your shape gets skinnier the closer you are towards the bottom. And I'm just going to file the rest of it to meet the tip. I use a 80/80 file. Y'all already know I don't use nothing but 80/80 for acrylic. And I like to use the round file because I feel like I could see a whole lot better, and it gets more into the solid walls better than the square, because the square is just so big. It's just kind of unnecessary for me now, because I know some people do like square. For me, I prefer round. So now I'm going ahead and I'm trying to shape up the sides to get them to match the little part I cut at the bottom. And make sure you're leaning up against the nail tip and putting pressure on it. And also, whenever you use straight tips, make sure you file underneath it as well, because that could also mess up your shape. Now, this part is the bread and butter. Take your mandrel and slide up against the sides of the nail tip to slowly shave in the sides. Now, the reason why I do this is because sometimes I can't fully get the shape I want with the file. So think of it as using your drill to draw your shape or to shave in the shape you want. Because like I said, sometimes the file is a user's error. It depends on how you hold it, how much pressure, the angle in which you are holding it. That could all mess up your shape. If you're using your drill to literally carve out your shape, the only problem you will come across is shaving in too much. But that's why you could just do a little at a time. And also with your drill, you can directly go to a specific spot to shave it in. With your hand file, it's a little bit harder to do that. Not impossible, a little bit harder. With your drill, you can literally pinpoint the problem area and fix it instantly. So I feel like you should try it if you don't already. The only thing is, it will cut into time. Like, it's more time in your prepping stage. But I feel like it'll all be worth it in the end, because look at this. It'll all be worth it in the end. So yes, I will be taking that extra time to pre-shape, because once I lay my acrylic and then I go to reshape, it's going to be a breeze, literally. Young Nails Cover Pink is really my safe spot, my safe space for any kind of nude based nails. I feel like it works with everybody's skin tone no matter what. And then I also feel like the color kind of changes depending on what type of skin tone you put it on, of course, because of color theory. Now as far as my application, I did kind of switch up the way I put my acrylic on, and I'm gonna do my best to try to explain what I mean, because it's really hard to explain it, but I'm gonna try to. So the thing I do differently is I put my acrylic on flat. It's gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna explain in a minute. What I mean by that is when I put my acrylic on, I try to keep the surface, the top, very top surface flat. And you can kind of see it right now, like it's literally flat up against the nail tip. And when I'm pulling it flat as well. The reason why is because I love for my nails to be flat at the top, because nails can also be round on the surface. Round meaning kind of in a C formation, and I kind of don't care for that. I like for my nails to be flat at the top. Now I don't want my nails to be thin. They're not going to be thin because again, I'm still building acrylic up, but they are going to be very flat on the surface. I'm still going to have an apex, which I just did. It's just when I lay my acrylic, I'm going to flatten it to the shape of the nail tip and not create a roundness to it. You can tell by how I pull the acrylic down that I'm trying to sculpt the acrylic in a flat box shape. That's really the only way I could explain it, is just sculpting it flat and in the shape of the nail tip, because these nail tips are flattened square tips, and that's how I want my shape to look, flat and square. And also I'm gonna try to see if I could find a picture that'll better explain what I mean by the surface of your nails could be very round, and show y'all that. But normally nails now, they all pretty much are very flat on the surface, and I'm not opposed to it. I really like it. The only thing that'll probably not be flat like that is if somebody use C-curve tips, gelix, sculpted gelix tips, or forms. If y'all see the direction I'm going in, you'll understand what I'm talking about, because all of those I just listed, the shape of the nail is going to be very C-curved. With the thumb, you'll be able to kind of see a side profile of the flattening little method I'm trying to explain, and the way I pull the acrylic and mold it. Because as you can see, I pretty much use the tip of my brush most of the time to try to move the acrylic where I want it to go, and then I use the body of the brush to flatten it out. And then of course I always make sure my sides are right up against the nail tip. And then also with the previous nails I've just done, you can look down there at the bottom, kind of see what those look like from the side as well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and finish this thumb application. And then also for the cuticle bead, guys, just make sure you put it close when you first lay the bead down, put it close but not directly on, and just nudge product into the area. Acrylic already kind of self-levels a little bit, so it's going to automatically flood perfectly if you don't put it directly on the cuticle. This is just the application from what I just did. And now we're going to go straight into the shaping. Now, I shape better. Well, I do nails better when I don't have nails on. I do have a little bit of length on right now. I cut them down, but it's still a little length on there because I like to hold my client's actual nail and file the sides, but I can't really do that because I got like a little bit of extra length on my nails. But I'm just going to use this time to kind of explain my process for shaping. The first point I like to attack is right here up in the side wall area. The reason why I like to file that part first is because the nail tips are already pre-shaped. So if you file the tips before you acknowledge the side walls, you're going to end up making your shape way too skinny for the client's nail bed. And the shape needs to gradually come down from the client's nail bed. So you must make sure you tidy up that nail wall area where their skin is. Tidy that part up and then worry about getting your shape in order on the tip, the plastic. So again, right there, you need to make sure that area right there is nice and tucked. Just pull their skin back. I use my fingers to kind of guard it right there where my thumb is. I'm protecting her skin in that area. That's why my glove is kind of like beat up because I'm actually fouling my own skin instead of her skin. That way I know for a fact I can go ahead and foul that area without worrying about harming them, because I know when I first started I was too scared to go up there by their skin, afraid that I was going to cut them, and my shape was never clean up there. So don't be scared to go up there. Just make sure you pull in their skin back with your hands or your fingers and tidy that shape up. It will make a difference because the bottom half of your nail could look perfect, but once you pan up and look at the shape around the skin, that could mess up your whole set. So I just learned this trick from my coworkers, and it's putting matte top coat on before you do your art. I normally do protein bun, but y'all know protein bun comes in a very tiny bottle. And you know you're going to spill half of it when you first open it or eventually. So that gets costly, have to rebuy protein bun, but I never use matte like that for real. So I don't have a problem with painting the nails matte. I would rather use a matte top coat than protein bun because I use protein bun as regular primer as well. So whenever you use the matte, I guess it just stops the polish from spreading and running. So I highly recommend it. If you're having trouble with your line art running and just fading out, try putting matte top coat down first, dry it in the lamp, and then go ahead and dry it on top. I mainly use my A Galore liner brush now to draw all of my French tips because honestly, it does the work for me. I just put it where I need it to place it and just flick my wrist and it literally creates the French for me. So if you're looking for a good liner brush, definitely try the 25mm by A Galore. I do want to try Nails by Dev. I want to try her brushes, but I should have got some for Black Friday, but I was not thinking. I'm going to get them eventually though. We're starting off with the giraffe. This one was very, very easy. Sorry it's a little out of focus. I just got the 14 plus and it has focusing issues for some reason. Especially when it comes to recording nails, it hardly wants to focus. But that one, I just used a dotting tool, make random shapes, but puzzle them together. So make sure it kind of fits. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like, kind of puzzle it together. Don't just do random shapes randomly. Make sure they fit together like a puzzle. Now on to the turtle shell. It's really easy. It's just the croc print, honestly. Or is it crocodile or is it turtle? No, this is not the tortoise one because the tortoise one is the brown and like orangey little. So yeah, this is just crocodile, I guess. But I don't know why it made me think of a turtle shell instead of croc when it's literally called the croc print. I don't know. That one was easy too. I kind of made it irregular on purpose because I was thinking of a tortoise shell instead of the croc print. But it's okay. The leopard one, just do random dots randomly for sure. And I did that with the dotting tool. This one, I try not to overthink because I easily overthink small line art like this or just small patterns, period. I don't know why, but the smallest things for me or just the more simple things are harder for me to do because the way I be overthinking or if my hands are shaking too bad. Like, for example, with this, you can't put too much pressure down on the brush or you'll have too thick of a line. It be little stuff like that that just gets me. Honestly, this one was probably the easiest nail out of all of them to do because cow print is literally the easiest thing ever. Make random blobs in random sizes and boom, there you go. I do a little couple dots here and there for like a signature style. I know I just like the way dots look on cow print. And that's literally it. Cow print is the easiest by far. And I use the same size dotting tool for everything. I only got one dotting tool, honestly, so I really don't have no other choice but to use it for everything. So now we have to finish off our leopard and just go on the opposite sides of every stroke and go ahead and cover up some of the color. Just make sure you're not too heavy-handed with this, but it's also sometimes good to be heavy-handed because some spots are very thick and it looks more natural that way. And now I'm going to go ahead and top coat. I am using my gelixer this time. No reason why, honestly. That's just what I had. I know a lot of you guys said you want me to include me top coating, so here we are. This pretty much is the end of the video. I really love doing these nails. They were so cute. They were time consuming though because every French is a different color and then every French has a different design on top. Those be the most time consuming, but they honestly come out the prettiest. So yeah, I really like doing them still. And again, that matte top coat trick worked wonders. That really worked really good. If you guys like this, make sure you leave a thumbs up and a comment down below. And then also, I want y'all to tell me what's the easiest design for y'all to do. Mine, like I said, is the cow print. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be